You want to be the best version of yourself, then stop waiting for someone to hand you a roadmap. No one's coming to rescue you, fix you, or push you forward. You become your best self the moment you stop making excuses and start taking accountability. Because here's the truth, no one can build you but you. No one is coming. Those 4 words can feel harsh, but they are the most freeing truth you will ever hear. We grow up believing that someone else will show up and fix things for us, that someone will open the right door, hand us an opportunity, or help us find motivation when we've lost it. But the moment you realize that no one is coming to save you, you stop waiting and start moving. That's where transformation begins, not in the comfort of being helped, but in the power of helping yourself. Taking accountability means understanding that your life is your responsibility, not your parents', not your bosses', not the world's, yours. When you take accountability, you stop being a passenger in your own story and step into the driver's seat. It's not about blaming yourself for everything that's gone wrong. It's about owning what happens next. You can't control what life throws at you, but you can control how you respond. The truth is, most people want change, but they don't want to do the uncomfortable work that comes with it. They say they want growth, but spend their energy pointing fingers at everything outside of themselves. Accountability demands honesty. It forces you to face your excuses, your habits, and your choices without hiding behind stories or justifications. The moment you say, "It's on me," something inside you shifts. You stop feeling powerless. You realize you don't need permission to change your life, just commitment. You start to see that your habits, your mindset, and your effort are shaping your reality every single day. If you're not where you want to be, the solution isn't out there. It's in here, in your discipline, your focus, and your willingness to take control. Accountability is ownership, and ownership is power. Because once you own something, you can change it. There's a kind of quiet strength in accountability. It doesn't shout. It doesn't make excuses. It simply gets up and gets it done. When you stop blaming others, you start building yourself. You stop saying, "I can't because," and start saying, "I will even though." You become self-reliant. Not in a way that isolates you, but in a way that makes you unstoppable. You understand that no one can hand you confidence, discipline, or success. You have to build them brick by brick through your actions. And when you do, no one can take them away. So stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect person to show up. Start where you are with what you have and take responsibility for what happens next. The best version of you is built on accountability, on the decision to stop waiting for life to change and to start changing it yourself. Because when you finally accept that no one is coming, you unlock the greatest truth of all. You were the one you were waiting for. And that realization doesn't just set you free, it makes you unstoppable. Comfort is seductive. It feels safe, familiar, and easy. It whispers to you, "Stay here a little longer, you've done enough." But comfort is also the quiet killer of growth. The best version of yourself does not exist in the space where everything feels good. It lives just beyond it, in the uncomfortable, uncertain, and often challenging moments that force you to stretch. The truth is, growth and comfort cannot coexist. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you delay your own evolution. You stay where it's familiar instead of stepping into where you're capable. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. They avoid hard conversations, new risks, difficult workouts, or ambitious goals because they're afraid of failing or being judged. But the best version of yourself isn't built in easy moments. It's forged in struggle. Think about every person you admire, leaders, athletes, creators, heroes. None of them became great by staying comfortable. They leaned into pressure, uncertainty, and pain, and they used it to become stronger. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your teacher. Every moment that challenges you is an opportunity to become more resilient, more skilled, and more confident. The reason comfort feels so dangerous is because it gives the illusion of progress. You might feel productive doing what's familiar, but real growth happens only when you're pushing yourself beyond what you already know. It's uncomfortable to take risks, to fail publicly, or to start over, but every time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand your limits. What once felt impossible begins to feel normal. That's how transformation works. Not overnight, but through 1,000 uncomfortable moments that slowly change who you are and what you believe you can do. Discomfort also reveals truth. When you push yourself, you see what you're made of. You discover your fears, your weaknesses, and your excuses, but also your strength, determination, and adaptability. Growth doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from surviving it. Every time you choose discomfort, you're telling yourself, I am stronger than my fear. That mindset separates those who stay stuck from those who evolve. So how do you step out of your comfort zone? Start small, but start now. Take the action you've been avoiding. Have the conversation you've been putting off. Try the thing you keep telling yourself you're not ready for. You don't grow by waiting until you're confident. You grow by acting until you become confident. Every uncomfortable choice builds momentum, and momentum builds transformation. In the end, comfort may feel good for a while, but it never leads anywhere. Discomfort, on the other hand, might sting at first, but it shapes you into someone unstoppable. When you understand that every challenge is an invitation to grow, you stop running from it and start embracing it. The best version of yourself is not hiding in the safe, predictable spaces of your life. It's waiting for you on the other side of fear, sweat, and effort. That's where growth lives. And once you get a taste of that kind of growth, you'll never want comfort again. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Discipline is what separates those who talk about success from those who actually achieve it. Everyone feels inspired when the mood is right, when the goal is fresh, the plan is new, and the energy is high. But what happens when that feeling fades? When you're tired, when no one's watching, when progress feels slow and invisible? That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up for yourself when excuses start sounding reasonable. It's the quiet, consistent work behind every great transformation. People often wait for motivation before they act, but that's backward. Motivation doesn't create discipline. Discipline creates motivation. When you follow through on what you said you would do, you build trust with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, your confidence grows. You stop doubting whether you can follow through because you've proven to yourself that you can. That self-trust is the foundation of real confidence. It's not built by affirmations or appearances. It's built through repeated action and integrity with yourself. The truth is, discipline isn't glamorous. It's waking up early when you want to sleep in. It's saying no to distractions that feel good in the moment, but rob you of long-term satisfaction. It's doing the work, not because you want to, but because you promised yourself you would. Discipline is consistency over emotion. It's showing up not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's not. And ironically, that's what creates freedom. Because when you are disciplined, you no longer rely on feelings to decide your actions. Your values decide for you. Many people think discipline means restriction, but it's the opposite. Discipline gives you control. It allows you to build habits that serve you instead of being controlled by impulses that destroy you. Without discipline, you become reactive, constantly pulled in every direction by what feels easy. But with discipline, you become proactive. You take ownership of your time, your energy, and your purpose. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You don't have to win every battle. You just have to keep showing up. The most powerful part about discipline is what it teaches you about yourself. It shows you that you are capable of much more than you think. It teaches you resilience, patience, and focus. You start to realize that success isn't about massive leaps. It's about small steps taken over and over again. And those steps, those quiet, disciplined choices, are what build unstoppable momentum. So stop waiting to feel ready or inspired. Start acting and let your actions create the inspiration. Build discipline like a muscle, one rep, one choice, one day at a time. Because the best version of yourself is not the one who feels motivated. It's the one who keeps going when motivation disappears. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. And every time you cross that bridge, you come closer to your best self, stronger, sharper, and unshakable. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to lose yourself. It starts quietly. You scroll through someone else's success, their perfect moments, their achievements, and suddenly your own life feels small. You begin to measure your worth against someone else's highlight reel, forgetting that what you're seeing is only the surface. The truth is, the best version of you will never be born through comparison. It's created when you focus on your own growth. You can't become your best self while trying to be someone else. You can only evolve by competing with the person you were yesterday. When you compare yourself to others, you give away your power. You shift your attention from what you can control. Your effort, your mindset, your discipline, to what you can't. And when you live in that space, you start to doubt your journey. You question your progress. You lose sight of how far you've come because you're too busy looking at how far someone else appears to be. But comparison is a lie. You can't compare two lives that have completely different paths, challenges, and timing. Your story is unique. Your pace is your own. And that's your strength. Being the best version of yourself means focusing inward, not outward. It means recognizing that success has no universal timeline. Some people rise quickly, others take longer because their foundation is deeper. And that's okay. Your growth is not supposed to look like anyone else's. The moment you stop competing with others, you free up all that energy to start building yourself. You begin to operate from purpose, not pressure. Instead of chasing someone else's definition of success, you define your own. You stop asking, why not me? And start asking, what can I do better today? That shift changes everything. Comparison also steals gratitude. It blinds you to the progress you've made and the blessings you already have. You forget that the version of you right now might be someone else's inspiration. The truth is, there's always someone ahead of you and always someone behind you. That's life. But the only person you should be trying to outgrow is who you were yesterday, your habits, your fears, your excuses. When you focus on that version of competition, you never lose. Because every small step forward, no matter how invisible it feels, is a win. The best version of yourself comes from self-awareness, not self-comparison. It's about being honest with your weaknesses and proud of your progress. You're not supposed to have everything figured out. You're supposed to keep figuring it out. When you stay true to your path, you start to build confidence that can't be shaken by anyone else's success. You realize that their victory doesn't mean your defeat. It simply proves what's possible. So stop looking left and right. Look straight ahead. Focus on your race, your growth, your purpose. The moment you stop comparing, you start becoming, because becoming your best self has never been about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were. Every day you show up for yourself, you're already winning. That's where real success lives. Perfection is an illusion, but progress is power. Too often, people hold back because they're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of themselves before they start. But that perfect moment doesn't exist. If you wait until everything feels right, you'll wait forever. The truth is, progress, not perfection, is what builds greatness. The best version of yourself doesn't come from getting everything right. It comes from showing up, failing, learning, and growing anyway. Perfection keeps you trapped in hesitation, while progress moves you forward even when it's messy. Perfectionism is rooted in fear, the fear of failure, judgment, or not being enough. It convinces you that mistakes define you instead of refining you. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the process of success. Every step forward, even the wrong ones, brings you closer to understanding yourself and mastering your path. People who achieve lasting success aren't those who never make mistakes. They're the ones who keep going after every setback. They understand that progress is a journey, not a destination. Every fall teaches resilience. Every correction sharpens skill, and every obstacle builds strength. When you chase perfection, you stop taking risks. You become so afraid of getting it wrong that you never give yourself the chance to get it right. But the truth is, growth happens through imperfection. It's in the moments when things fall apart that you learn how to rebuild. It's in the failures that you discover what you're truly capable of. Progress demands movement, not flawless execution, but consistent action. The best version of yourself will always be in motion, always learning, always improving. There's no finish line, just the next step. Progress also builds confidence. Every small win, every completed task, every moment of persistence tells your brain, I can do this. You begin to trust yourself more, not because everything went perfectly, but because you didn't quit when it didn't. Perfection, on the other hand, breeds paralysis. It tells you you're not ready yet, that you're not enough yet. Progress says, start anyway. It reminds you that excellence isn't achieved overnight. It's earned through repetition, failure, and the courage to keep showing up. Think of it this way: if you take one small step every day, by the end of a year, you've taken 365 steps forward. But if you wait for the perfect moment to take one big leap, you'll still be standing in the same place. The best version of you isn't waiting for permission or perfection. It's being built every day. You choose progress over procrastination. Every imperfect action is a declaration that you're growing, that you're trying, that you're refusing to stay stuck. So stop demanding perfection from yourself. Instead, demand consistency, demand effort, demand honesty, because the people who truly succeed are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who never stop getting up. Being your best self is not about being flawless. It's about being fearless enough to keep going, even when you stumble. Progress is messy, but it's real. And in the end, it's the imperfect steps forward that create the strongest, truest version of you.